It's Meltin Metal Anthony, and today, this is what we're repairing. So somebody drove over the curb, knocked this fence out, but we're right on Main Street in the town I live in now. So what we need to do first is go ahead and caution tape the area off, because we don't want the public walking through. There'll probably be a couple of people that blind themselves, but that's really not my fault. So I made an unfortunate discovery because of the bumpy road I live on. My heating head, my rosebud torch is broken. So we're gonna have to do this with a cutting torch. So we're gonna start this off by heating this up and bending this back first. So I've got it rigged up off the truck. I just took my choker chain and a small ratchet strap, and I've just got it kind of just pinned up here for now. But once we get it heated, I'm gonna slide it right directly into the middle of that bend, and we'll start pulling it using the truck. Hopefully nothing else breaks, but I have a sneaking suspicion that there's a lot of bad welds on this thing and things are gonna break. So I'm mostly concentrating the heat on the front of this because that's where the expansion is gonna have to come from, the front. The back is gonna compress, the front is gonna expand. So you have to think about that when you're heating things. You gotta think about where is the major expansion and the compression gonna go. I'm gonna quickly loosen this, get it right there. Maybe we might have still a little time on this. Now we're gonna try to pull it this way just a little. We don't wanna go too crazy. Yeah, we're gonna have to heat it down here too. Oh fuck, what was that? I've never seen a ratchet strap pop itself before in all the years I've used ratchet straps. All right, so I'm gonna put, I don't wanna go too crazy, but I'm gonna put a little more heat into this, and then we're gonna pull it that way, and then it looks to me like we need to come down here and heat right here, but now we need to be cautious because we're right next to this concrete. We don't want to pop this. It's straight this way now, but now it seems like it's somehow pulled itself back. I don't know what happened. Probably when it cooled. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is heat this up and get this straight. I didn't even notice this before. And then we'll come back to this because it seems like I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna let that sit and cool for a second because what I think happened was this deflected back because I relieved the tension off of it. So we're gonna need to do this one again, which is not a big deal. So that seemed to be the key, was to let this thing sit on there until it cooled down, because this one did not deflect back like this one did. I'm not really sure what happened there because it didn't deflect back sideways, only back in. So we're gonna heat it again. We just need to straighten this and then drop our bars and weld them out. So I'm gonna break out some Polaris A on this. It's way overkill for the application, but I don't know what pieces on this fence are cast iron, what aren't. These old cast iron fences, you never really know. So it doesn't really matter. It's only gonna cost me 1 or 2 rods to put this thing back together. Nice solid little weld there. So this isn't some structural application. I don't need to go crazy, especially with the rod I'm using. The rod I'm using gray overkill as it is. So that's basically all the welds we're gonna be making. It's just little, not even 1 inch long welds. So I'm gonna first start by welding the piece back together that they knocked out when they hit this thing. And then I'm gonna put it in there and I'm gonna use it to align the top and straighten that out. Oh, I need a fucking ground, don't I? Might not even have to put any heat into this, honestly. It's a little unorthodox, but if it works, it ain't stupid if it works. It's always better to bend things cold if you can. One appears to be broken or something. I think what we're gonna have to do is nip this one and nip this one down about 1/4 of an inch to get these other ones to align. I bent this down too much. Yep. What I'm going to do now is weld the frame in place, and then I'll adjust the pickets to get them to look straight. I know what you're gonna say. The biggest criticism I'm gonna get, why didn't you prep the non-structural welds, the picket welds? Why didn't I prep those? Because when I sat down with the owner, the most important thing was to maintain the patina on the fence. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to do as little prep work as possible, so that way I didn't ruin the patina on it. I didn't want a bunch of shiny spots, a bunch of spots that you would see, you know, if you were to step back from this thing, because that's what this is really about. It's really about what it looks like when you step back from 10, 20 feet away. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. If you like what you saw here today, like, subscribe, share. If you didn't like it, well, go fuck yourself.